My first house cost $98,000, and it just sold for $203.
You know who says milk?
Who?
Powder.
I have a sword. Will you sign it?
Yes.
Awesome. Here. Just sign it. Just right at the base. No, Tony.
Right at the tip.
Nice.
Man, this is big decision right here.
I want to see something really cool that only 3 people have ever seen. Open your eyes. Whoa. See that black smudge right there on the blade?
Yeah.
Look at it closely. Pretty recognizable signature.
No.
Tony from Ask Tony getting a grip on things.
Why do you have Tony from getting a grip on things autograph on a martial arts weapon?
Because I bumped into him, and it's all I had on me at the time. And I'm not going to knock at Tony's from getting a grip on things signature on my samurai sword.
Now, do you want to see something even cooler than that?
Of course.
Turn off the lights.
Welcome to Getting a Grip on Things. I am James, the thinking contractor, with Elijah, the underpaid producer. And today's show, we are going to be talking about living at home with mom and dad until you're 40. Also known as the Step Bros show. Welcome. Let's take a look at
awesome.
Dude, it's so funny. I forgot to laugh and fell off my dinosaur. How does that quote go?
What does he say? I remember my first beer, and then he's like,
I don't know. Look it up.
What does he say? No, I got to find it out now.
I remember when I had my first beer.
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur. Stop.
Wait.
When they're sitting at the table, dude, and there was another scene at the end when they get a divorce and
he goes, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Are you talking about that?
And that's funny too, but one of the funniest things that I remember is when in the middle of all of it, their dad's announcing the divorce, and I think Dale or Dragon goes, she's like, what the heck, Dad? It's Shark Week. Or was it the other one? One of them says it's Shark Week.
Oh, that's when they're banning them from the TV.
Is that
like
what
they're
it was?
grounding them?
Yeah, dude, I got to go back and watch
it's
that
Shark
movie.
Week.
Yeah, they got pissed because it was Shark Week. Anyway,
So awesome.
If you just tuned in and you watched Elijah and I reenacting Step Brothers, that's exactly what we're talking about today. Being 40 and living at home with mom and dad.
Yeah.
Or today's culture, probably just living at home with mom because dad probably left.
No.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I mean, statistically speaking, dads split the scene. They're not even sticking around anymore, so they never have since the 70s, 60s.
It's kind of sad.
It sucks, dude. That's what we're going to get into today. Basically, we're going to ask Tony his opinion about what it feels like to live at home and would he stay at home, so we'll dive into that. You got anything, Elijah?
We're really just talking about inflation.
Pretty much.
Honestly, that really covers a lot of it. Generational problems,
dude,
losers.
Do you think
probably diabetes a little bit?
Some of them
might
are losers.
Bring up Ricky.
Well, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, dude. How old were you when you moved out?
I was 18.
Were you a boomeranger? Did you boomerang back?
Yep. Like 2 times.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now. Kids when I left, my parents knew I was never coming back. I mean, my mom broke down and cried, and I go, why are you crying? She's like, because I know you're never coming back. But that was a long time ago. I'm old.
Yeah.
You guys are screwed. Your generation is screwed. I'm dead serious,
I appreciate the confidence.
Dude, we're going to dive into this. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any Republican, conservative says. The younger generation is jacked. You guys are in big trouble. And I honestly feel for you. I actually have compassion on the younger generation because I don't know how you're going to do this. And one of the other crazy things about this, why in the heck are these young people voting for people like Biden and Obama? They're assholes. They're absolutely making this worse. They are. But I'm not going to lie. I don't think Republicans are making it any better either.
Nobody is. Nobody's doing it. It's really just all... I mean, this is my opinion. I don't know if you share this or not. I think that the government is just one large scheme to steal all of our money. That's really what it feels like. That's what it's become, at least.
The war machine military complex absolutely wants to take all of our money. They can't even account for what they've done with our money.
Yep.
We've been begging them to account for where our money's at. And when we catch them, we're like, oh, well, sorry, we spent $1 billion on finding out why the tricycle tips over. You know, what? Seriously, have you looked into that?
Wait, really?
Yeah. No, dude, there was an actual study where they found out what the government's been wasting money on, and it's ridiculous garbage, like why tricycles tip over.
Why'd you have to tell me that?
Yeah, you can look into it. So there's all kinds. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about children living with 2 unmarried parents were more likely to live below the poverty line in 2019. That's 38.1% than children married with married parents. So that is a statistic that we're going to have to reflect on, why people are staying with their parents and why we have so many poor people right now. That because we don't have married moms and dads. And when you grow up in a single parent home, statistically it shows that you are more likely to live below the poverty line. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, that's like even like not even just the poverty line, but your mental well-being and your tendency to be addicted to different substances, like all of that kind of just goes through the roof statistically.
Yep.
When you're raised in a single parent home, especially when it's a single mother.
Yeah. And so, I mean, when you start to step back and look at this, you can, you know, anybody getting triggered by this, well, I grew up to say, I'm whatever.
There's an exception to every rule.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, you have to ask yourself, maybe there's an agenda here to break up marriages.
There might be.
I mean, dude, if
well, we can talk about people not getting married as much anymore.
Well, it's part of it. I mean, it's the same thing with stepbrothers. There's 2 40-year-old dudes living with their parents. And the funny thing is they were both divorced, right? So, and then they got remarried and they bring this, they meld this house together. And it's a joke. It's hilarious, right? Like my generation, Gen Xers, look at that and we're cracking up because what kind of people would move in with 2 40-year-old kids? It's not that uncommon now. And
which is funny.
Well, because back then when they made this movie, which was what, 2008? 2008, it was becoming a trend. I don't think it was in the 40s.
Moving back in with parents was becoming a trend.
Not at 40.
Was it like a TikTok challenge?
No, I think what it was is I think back then in the 2000s, people were starting to not move out like they did when they were my age, like get out when you're 18, 19 years old. They were sticking around till they were 25 and 30. And I think Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, they saw an opportunity to make comedy here. What if we pushed it to 40? What if you were a 40-year-old man living with your...
Probably. I mean, that's probably how the idea was born, right?
Right, dude. But look, now it's a reality. It's.
I mean, that old? I mean, that stereotype's always existed, right? Like the 40-year-old man who's fat and eats Hot Pockets in his mom's basement. Like, Mom, yeah, give me a Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
I'm playing World of Warcraft.
Yep.
That's a real thing.
It is, but it's more so now than ever.
Why do you think that is?
Dude, we can't afford to live. It's ridiculous. Inflation is outrageous. And
I think it's self-entitlement and laziness and inflation. I think that those things are mixed because if you're really a self-starter,
yes,
like if you are not lazy and you try, even when it's hard, you can still be successful. Like,
that's right.
And this we can get into the conversation about like housing prices, which I should have pulled up some stuff for that.
Well, there's a bunch of hold on before I want you to go. I want to add this, and I don't want to forget that because one of the main reasons why I feel sorry for the younger generation is they've been lied to. They think that college is their meal ticket, and they're all starting 100%. To find out that it's a scam. It's a big frickin' scam. So anyway, I want to talk about that. Because that's why I feel for the younger generation.
If you're a self-starter, not even a self-starter, if you're just responsible and you try, like I said, even when it's difficult,
yeah,
you can kind of beat the system and you could buy a home. It's not impossible. It's expensive, but if you're a first-time home buyer, there are a bunch of programs. I used one of the programs to get a house with. I put $200 or $400 into buying my first house.
Yeah, for like $180,000 now, you can get a double wide trailer here in Michigan. Dude,
I had a 3-bed, 1-bath, decent house.
You did.
But still, when you look at it, like if you look at the housing prices, my dad just did a post on Facebook talking about like the look at your Zestimate and see what your first house that you bought, how much it was.
Who's your dad?
And how much, Mike the Cop, how much it is now. And like people put, I think my dad put, it was like 56,000 and now it's over 100-something thousand.
I know, it's crazy,
and it's
dude.
Nuts. It's nuts. It's like over 156,000. And the house that I grew up in was like 120,000, I think. Or my parents maybe got it for like 90,000.
Yeah.
And they sold it for almost 200,000.
Dude, my first house cost $98,000 and it just sold for $203,000. I just looked it up on Zillow because of your dad's post. But I mean, the house I'm in now, I can't believe it's like quadrupled in value.
Isn't that crazy?
Well,
I had my house for not even 3 years, and I sold it for, and I made I made over $20,000 more than I spent on it.
I know, dude. It's crazy, and you really didn't do much to it. Let me ask you something. I have a legitimate question. How much is a house payment on a $180,000 house? Because if you're buying a $180,000 house right now, you're not buying much of a house. I mean,
it depends on a lot of factors like your credit. I can put it into a mortgage calculator right now.
Yeah.
Because
dude,
you have
look
to
like
add
the
in
biggest
like
nerd on the planet. I can put it into a mortgage calculator. Actually, dude.
Yeah. So this is actually if you make about $65,000 a year, right? That's what's on your W-2.
Yeah.
You can probably afford about a $200,000 home, $180,000 to $200,000, and your payment without taxes and PMI and the current interest rates would be about $1,390 a month.
$1,390.
For a $180,000 home, so probably about $1,600 something, $1,700.
That's crazy. What does the average teacher make in the U.S.?
Ooh.
What is the average pay?
My guess is going to be like 44.
Right. I'm going to say closer to 50. What is it? What is it?
Guess.
50.
The national average starting teacher salary is $38,000.
Dude, okay,
and it's
perfect.
So non-starting is $58,000. So you have experience, you've been doing it for a while.
Okay, but still, you come out of college, that's a bachelor's degree. The bare minimum
Let's see,
now to go to
average cost of bachelor's degree.
$100,000, I would say.
No.
It's got to be. Close to 60 to 80. I don't know. What is it? Oh, stop with the fake. Dude, I'm dying right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this hurts my soul.
What is it?
It's $26,543 for undergraduate programs and $19,796 for graduate programs.
Per year.
No, that's
got to be per year, dude.
Hold on.
For a college, for a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's per year.
That's per year, dude.
Oh, 104,000.
104. Okay, there, you said it. You go to college to be a teacher.
No. It's, oh my gosh.
What is it? Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, then go ahead and get out of here and go on to Rumble and watch the rest of this. Watch the full show. We're only doing part of it here because we're being silenced. But if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or any other place you podcast, keep listening there. You're going to get the full show there. It's audio only. But if you want to see the rest of this, go to Rumble. You guys are awesome. Thanks.